Guys, good afternoon. Anne here. Thank you so much for tuning into my scope today. Um, I am going to be breaking this particular topic up into 5 different parts, to kind of keep these nice little bite-sized chunks for you. I have been getting a lot of questions, messages, emails, and things from people. Um, going through cancer, breast cancer, and things of how I have been able to maintain and keep with exercise, with my nutrition, and just positive attitude, mindset, and just what inspired and what was my inspiration and motivation every day. And then also there's going to be at the end of this 5-part series, there's going to be a special video, the 5th video, where my husband is going to be talking a little bit about from the perspective of a caregiver, what it's like to be a spouse or a significant other of somebody who is fighting cancer or an illness. And so I've broken this down for you, like I said, into 5 parts. Today I'm going to be talking to you about exercise and how I was able to keep with that and what I did during my journey in my fight. The second one is going to be nutrition, and these are going to be a once a day daily video from me that I will post on here. And so, yeah, like I said, today's is going to be the exercise part. And then and then the next one is, tomorrow is going to be nutrition. And then the following is going to be kind of my, just my attitude, my positive mindset, how I was able to keep with that. And then the 4th one is going to be, just inspiration, what kept me inspired and motivated to keep going every day. And then that 5th one, like I had mentioned, is going to be from my husband. Actually, both of us on here together. So a little bit of a backstory for you. And please double tap the right hand corner of the screen, to hear, my story, and you feel like hearing this, and kind of want to hear more of my story, or comment below if you have any questions or feedback. Thing is totally welcomed. I would love to hear how I can further help you. And so let's see. So yeah, a little bit of a backstory. I'm 33. I'm a stay-at-home mom and a health and fitness coach. Sorry, I just totally had the mommy brain thing going on. I was diagnosed back in October 2014, this past year, with stage 3 DCIS, invasive C2 ductal carcinoma. So it was in my right breast, and it was totally something that was I discovered by accident on my own, and then it was found out everything and started happening within 2 weeks of that, and stuff. And so I've undergone mastectomy on my right side. I underwent the numerous tests, PET scans, doctor's visits. I went through 16 rounds of chemotherapy, which I finished up with at the end of May. And then had a month break, and then I went on to do 5 weeks of daily, 5-day-a-week radiation, which I just finished with last week. It's actually been a week ago yesterday. And so I'm enjoying a nice little break, and then I'm going to be having reconstruction next year to allow my body some time to recoup and recover and everything. And I was, on an awesome note, I was declared cancer-free on June 10th. My last test results showed no evidence of disease, so thank the Lord. So yeah, so that's a little bit that's been my background. So it's been about a 9-10 month fight, roughly. So before this, I was very much active, working out and been eating healthy nutrition, my husband and I both, for several months prior to me getting sick. So, and I was doing like a daily 5-day a week workout routine, and going pretty strong and everything, and pretty healthy when we found out. So that, coupled with my age, was a huge factor in me beating this thing and being able to handle and tolerate everything as well as I did. So I remember that was one of my concerns, was, will I be able to continue with any sort of routine and keep myself strong, keep myself handling everything okay. Because I knew with all, surgeries and different things, and, how chemo was going to make me feel. I didn't know how sick I was going to be. So I was like, didn't know, is it the answer, what's going to happen, how I'm, we'll figure, have to figure it out for sure. So I kept with, everything, because it was about almost a month, not quite a month, between my diagnosis and my mastectomy, which was the biggest surgery that I've had. That was the most recovery that was involved. So I kept with my normal daily routine, weight training, high intensity cardio, things like that, working out at home. And so yeah, I kept with that until my surgery. And then they said it was going to be a few weeks out as far as recovery time before I'd really be able to do anything, particularly with my right side. I wasn't supposed to use my arm, stay, keep it immobile for at least a couple of weeks, and then, and stuff, and letting everything drain and heal, and everything. And then I did have to rest for about 2 weeks. I actually healed and recovered up surprisingly, remarkably fast, which was great. But during that time, I just stayed, I rested as I needed. I slept for those 2 weeks post mastectomy. And so I just, I rested, and, went for walks as I was feeling up for it. But mostly I rested, took it easy, and just let my body heal. And then as soon as, when we went in for a follow-up with my doctor and stuff, who, after 2 weeks and stuff, said I was, healing up nicely, and I was all cleared to go back to my normal routine. So, which was great. So, but I was still a little scared. I had, the incisions, everything. I was so afraid it was going to bust open. But, what I did is that I just, I eased back, I started back up with the 5 days a week, but I eased kind of into it. I modified certain exercises as needed, just to kind of, listen to my cues from my body, and how I was feeling, and just kind of went with, the pace. And then I was getting a little bit stronger every day. And then I was able to get through a whole, my workouts were always 30 minutes. So I was always able to get through the 30 minutes. And that did actually help me with continued expedited recovery and healing. And so I just continued with that. And, and then I was back to full force and everything. And then I had to go in for another surgery because I was going to have to get a port for my chemotherapy, to receive my chemo drugs intravenously. So, which didn't really affect too much. It was a day of recovery, and then so it didn't really interrupt anything because I worked out in the morning, before that. So that didn't really affect anything. And then I continued with my normal a normal routine, and I was able to do more and more stuff unmodified, strength. I kind of started out with like lighter weights, than what I normally did. And then I was able to work my way back up to what I was normally lifting on days that I would lift. And then, so I was slated to start chemotherapy in December 2014. And then I was made well aware and prepared for how sick I was going to be. My first 4 rounds of chemo were going to be, it's called the AC, or as some survivors people know, the red devil, because it makes you really, really sick. So is the adriamycin cytoxin, for those who know, but it's normally called AC. So anyway, I knew I was going to be sick, for a period of time after that. So what ended up happening is that, I ended up getting really sick for the 3 days after my treatment, not including the day of. So I would allow, and those were every other week, those were bi-weekly. So the week I had treatment, I would allow myself a full solid week to recover, sleep, just let my body its rest, because that's always important, is just to listen to your body and let it rest, because it's going through and being taxed so heavily. You need to let it, rest first and foremost. And so I gave myself a full week. So during the time of, from December through the end of January was when I did that type of treatment. I worked out every other week, and I would do 5 days a week. Because that would be when I was feeling better and closer to 100%. And so it'd be every other week, December through January, going into this year, that I did that. And I would work out solid, every other week. And so then I finished that up, and then I had roughly a month break in between that type of treatment and then the next set of chemo that I was going to be doing. So I was able to just pick back up, like say for the month of February, pick back up with everything. The only thing that I had to rest a few days, the only thing I had to rest for about a week for actually was I had to have an additional surgery because cancer popped up in my lymph nodes. And so they had to go in there and get that out. And so, as some of you know who's had this surgery, you have to be really careful, kind of easing back in. And so I just kind of modified, again, just rested as I needed to, stayed immobile for as long as I needed to. And, but that recovery time was a lot quicker than my mastectomy. So, I just did that, and then I went, and then as soon as I was cleared, I just, I took it easy. I eased back in, used lighter weights, modified where I needed to, or just going for a walk, that kind of thing too. Always helps. And then I started, in March, I started my, I switched doc care, and then I started my, 12 weekly chemo treatments of Taxol carboplatin, which was a complete 180 from how the first batch made me feel. I only had, I had some fatigue the day of and then a little bit the day after, but no sickness, thank goodness. And I was feeling 100%, I was feeling way, way better than before. So it was much more tolerable. So there was no disruption during my 12 weeks of that chemo treatment. So I just, I kept with that, my normal routine, strength training, high intensity cardio, kind of some, that kind of stuff. Some of you see my videos on Instagram and Facebook, Fit Fearless Mom and Ann Purcell. Yeah, so I didn't let it, because I was just like, I know this is going to give me energy. This is going to help me handle my treatments better. It's going to give me the energy that I need. And my routine and my exercise was encouraged by my doctors. They said, you know, if you're feeling up for it and it's not, you know, affecting you, you know, go for it. You know, don't disrupt your routine. You know, exercise, workout. You know, my doctor said, she said, I actually wish more people would, you know, try and exercise while they're going through treatment, because it's going to help you physically stay strong and battle the fatigue, and, you know, just, yeah, just handle everything a lot better. And I truly feel that that's what had helped me handle the treatments so much better physically. Um, and so, you know, and just making sure I was getting plenty of sleep every single night, you know, and, you know, taking naps during the day, you know, when I needed to, and just getting plenty of rest as well. So just so I wasn't, you know, knowing that, you know, and making sure I wasn't overdoing it, and just really taking care, you know, of my physical, mental health, you know, health and everything. Um, so that's kind of the biggest thing. So, you know, my biggest things for this video as I wrap up is, you know, first and foremost, listen to your doctor first and foremost. That's what I always, you know, tell people I talk to, give any helpful tips that I can. But then I also say too, you know, as your doctor say, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's always very important to listen to what they give you. And then, you know, and of course, listen to your body. Take the cues from your body. If you're pushing yourself too hard, or, you know, that kind of thing. And then, you know, plenty of rest, as I mentioned. You know, rest when needed. And then, yeah, I mean, number 3, yeah, exercise. You know, when you're feeling up for it, on the days you're feeling up for it. That really will help you with the fatigue and give you the energy with everything. Be sure to, be sure to double tap, cornered screen if, you know, this is helping you, or if you know somebody this is going to help. You know, and if you're liking the tips and you want me to continue the videos, sorry, my phone there. My phone's a little crooked. Sorry about that. Okay. So, you know, again, in any comments, questions below, you know, and any feedback, you know, on more things you'd like me to share with you. And stay tuned for tomorrow's Periscope. I'm going to be going over my nutrition, the nutrition part of it. And so, and how I, you know, did my nutrition, and, you know, stuck with that, and how it helped me throughout my fight with breast cancer. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, this one probably went a little long for you, so thank you for tuning in, listening in. Yeah, I will talk to you soon. Thank you.